Hello, wild people. Welcome to AK Wild One. There are few pieces of gear as critical as your water filtration system. You use it every day on the trail, and without a functioning water filtration system, you just might end up spending a lot of time in a place like this. So today, I'm going to share some tips for getting the most out of your Sawyer Squeeze. Thank you for tuning in. As long-distance backpackers, most of us are pretty rough on our gear. That's why we carry tenacious tape, duct tape, zip ties, sewing thread and needles, and credit cards. However, it's pretty important to baby your water filtration system, because if that goes bad, well, you might just find yourself having to drink cow juice along the trail. And few things are as bad as that, trust me. I would say the Sawyer Squeeze is still the most popular water filtration system for long-distance hikers, although the Katadyn Be-Free has some strong supporters. And I expect I will hear from this unruly bunch in the comments. I do plan to compare different water filters on the market in an upcoming episode, but for now, I want to talk about how to maintain a good working relationship with your Sawyer Squeeze. The Sawyer Squeeze is built as a tool that can filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. According to Sawyer, the squeeze filters 99.9% of bacteria, such as Salmonella, cholera, leptospirosis, and E. coli. And it removes 99.99% of protozoa like Giardia and Cryptosporidium. It doesn't remove iron, sulfur, other compounds, or simple compounds, and only small amounts of heavy metals and pesticides. 100,000 gallons is a lot, and I've never had a Sawyer Squeeze last anywhere near that long. But here are some tips for helping prolong your Sawyer Squeeze's life efficiency. Here is my basic filtering setup. I carry a Sawyer Squeeze, a smart water bottle cap on it, a small coupling, and a 2-liter CNOC bag. I recommend the coupling because it allows you to connect things easily. When you're using it, it's important not to connect it too tightly because you need air to be able to escape so you can get water through your filter and into your bottle. The CNOC bag works well, but I have developed pinholes in mine, but you can fix those pinholes or smaller holes with a Terray Type A patch. Simply cut out a patch larger than your hole, round it off, and place and push it on the bag. Sometimes the slide connection system gets tough. Try getting it wet, or you could put some chapstick on it, but be sure to wipe it off when you're done because it could attract dirt. Okay, tip number 1, don't let your Sawyer Squeeze freeze. Once that happens, your filter is basically ruined and compromised. If you think you froze your filter, then you need to purchase another one, which as of right now will set you back around $46. If you think the temperature is going to drop into the 30s at night, place the Sawyer Squeeze in a plastic bag and put it inside your sleeping bag. If it's below freezing during the day while you're hiking, you can put it in a pocket that's close to your body. Tip number 2, the next most important thing to remember, in my opinion, is to avoid drawing water from silty or murky waters. This will clog the filter pretty quickly, and you could reach the point where filtering water is more like trying to suck peanut butter through a straw. Tip 3, there are a number of ways you can avoid clogging your filter. If you do come across silty water, you could fill a pot and let it settle for an hour and pour the water slowly into your CNOC bag so as not to disturb the silt, which is dropped toward the bottom. But that process takes a long time. Tip number 4, you could pre-filter your water through a bandana. You could fill your pot, put a bandana over it and secure it with a rubber band, and that will filter out some of the dirt. Or you could cut off a piece of mosquito netting and use that on the fitting between your bladder bag and the Sawyer Squeeze filter. This is my latest solution. I use a 5/8 inch washing machine stainless steel filter hose washer on the intake side of the filter. I'll leave a link in the description. They're about $7 for 20 of them, and you might want to carry an extra one or two and an extra Sawyer gasket or two. Tip number 5, after a while you'll need to backflush your Sawyer. I backflush mine when it needs it, or at least every time I stop for a zero in town. It's part of my pre-trail prep chores. This is where having the coupling really helps. I try to backflush mine at least with 10 liters of water. It's a pain, but it will make things easier on the trail. It's amazing how the temperament of your Sawyer Squeeze can affect your attitude on the trail. Having a nice flowing filter in some ways creates the same sensation of walking in new trail runners. It just feels like everything's in the right gear. Tip number 6, before storing your Sawyer Squeeze for the winter by placing it in a warm place, it's a good idea to sanitize your filter by backwashing it with a cap full of fragrance-free bleached mix into 1 liter of water. Well, wild people, I hope you found something useful in this video. Please subscribe to this channel, share, comment, like, and hit that notifications button. If for no other reason, it helps me avoid the world of real work. So basically, the Sawyer Squeeze is that one piece of hiker gear you'll need to baby, to pay extra attention to on the trail. And I hope that following some of these tips will help you stay refreshed and hydrated on the trail. Happy trails, and until we meet again, live wildly, my friends.